god.
Yeah, he is the 6th god. That is absolutely true. We could make it 7 today, which would be insane. Like, that would be ridiculous.
Unheard of.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, absolutely. So it looks like we have the Fates Collide Mew. I love this card. It allows you to use one of your other attacks. It's a 1-prize attacker, so you can use Drampa's attack with it. It's kind of cool. Versus this Lele start from Michael.
Yeah, Lele, not really the Pokemon you want to start with.
9 times out of 10, yeah, you don't really want to start with it.
Yeah, but they do play 3, so that's a little bit of a high chance.
Absolutely. And we do see also that one Acerola. So we talked about it earlier in the other 2 matches. Acerola is one of the best cards, I think, to picking up those Leles and getting...
Definitely. I mean, it allows you to get use out of a card, which otherwise you wouldn't be able to use for its effect the whole entire game.
Absolutely.
So that potential is always there, for sure. So
and we see
looking at his first deck search.
Yeah, of course. For players who aren't super familiar with the game, usually your first deck search, you're going to look through 4 or 5, maybe 6 times, just to figure out what's prized, because in the beginning of the game, we put out those 6 prizes, kind of like, you don't know what may or may not be in your deck. And if you only play like 1 copy of a card, you want to make sure it's there.
And that's the mark of a really good player, right? Always checking meticulously for those prizes, because it's going to be crucial, especially in a game like this, where
it's a 60-card mirror. Yeah,
60-card mirror.
Absolutely.
So all of those cards are going to be very valuable.
Absolutely. I feel like they probably haven't tested this matchup before. So I'm sure it's new to them as well as it is to us. It's going to be interesting to see. Both of which, these 2 players are phenomenal. They know how to play and the lines that they need to make in order to win. So we'll see how they do here. We see an Ultra Ball from Azul. I'm expecting Lele for Bridget.
And discarding that, I think that's an N that he discarded, and a Trash Lunge Garbodor. In Expanded, I'm sure you guys have mentioned this several times, but since I'm just getting here behind the desk, VS Seeker's back.
Yep.
So
one of the biggest cards.
Yes, that's going to be a huge difference between.
It allows you to battle compressor those supporters, the one-off supporters that you can play.
So actually in Standard now, it's considered not a good idea to just toss your supporters and discard.
Correct.
But in Expanded, it is a good play.
It's kind of like, go ahead and do it.
To go back and get it later.
Yeah, absolutely.
With the VS Seeker.
I love it. It's such a good play.
Definitely.
And it's so standard now. That is now the standard play. Lele for Bridget, discarding supporters.
And it seems like Azul's got a tough choice about what to get, but he's also going to go for the Bridget, I think. So basically an identical setup from them both.
Right, absolutely.
Very strong turn ones.
I agree. I believe Azul's probably going to weigh out some options, see what's the best line here. Obviously, figuring out how many Trubbish are prized, how many Garbodors are prized, and what lines he can actually take here.
And both of them seem to have gone for double Trubbish setup. They both have 2 Trubbish.
Absolutely.
And a Lele.
Yeah, absolutely. And that Mew.
Yeah.
And the Mew, yeah. But we see the first Drampa come down. That card is kind of really good. It hits really good numbers. Big Wheel GX allows you to set up. A Righteous Edge is even good in this matchup with those special energies. So it's going to be really interesting to see how they play.
Can't wait to see how this plays out.
Yeah, absolutely. And we see a pass. All right.
Just kind of getting everything set up, getting ready to go. Taking the first couple turns of the game to make sure their board state is sustainable so that they don't run into problems later on with N.
Absolutely.
And here comes the first N of the game. And so it's hard to talk about this matchup because right now there's no clear advantage for either player.
Yeah, of
so
course.
That's what's super interesting about it as well. It's not like, oh, this deck is favored over the other.
Right. It really comes down to whoever plays better, whoever draws better.
Exactly.
Which is my kind of matchup to watch, actually.
Definitely.
It's one of my favorites.
For sure.
Skill intenseful matchups.
Always the best. So the Rainbow Energy on the Tapu Lele there from Pramawat, that's going to set up for his Drampa when he eventually finds it.
Absolutely.
To do more damage with Berserk.
Berserk's interesting. You're wanting to hurt your own Pokemon in order to do more damage. It seems ludicrous to me, but obviously it's good here. They're both 2-0 here, so. And
Yeah,
it looks like a
sometimes-
pass.
Sometimes it can be a little hard to pull off to
Yeah.
get damage on your own Pokemon. but
Absolutely.
That's why the Rainbow is such a good attachment. So that's all ready to go. But the only thing is he's missing the crucial piece, the Drampa.
The
but-
Drampa, right, absolutely.
I mean, if he ever does find that. And Mew can even copy Berserk.
Absolutely.
So
That's why the card is so
Yeah.
versatile in this matchup. It can do that. It can also, I believe, it can Trash a Lanch.
right.
I'm pretty sure it can also Trash a
should
Lanch.
be able
So
to. So we're seeing Ultra Ball from Azul here.
looks like a Getsus and a Trash a Lanch, I believe.
I see the Getsus.
I have a feeling you don't really want to attack with Trash a Lanch in this format or in this deck, like this setup, I guess, because they're both throwing away their Trash a Lanch Garbodors. I wonder if that's like the play here. I'm sure they've probably have some idea, right? How to play this matchup? They have to have some idea.
I'm sure they have a game plan in mind.
Yeah,
So
I'm
do.
sure
and
they
it will
do.
reveal itself to us in due time.
Right? Yeah,
in due
yeah,
time.
absolutely.
So, yeah, they definitely want to be leading with Mew here for the most part.
And there's the first
Oh,
knockout.
man,
There it
that
is.
That is crucial from Azul, actually.
I love Tapu Lele because you can do that. You can
Yes.
attach a DCE and just smack things.
God, Tapu Lele is so good.
Oh, absolutely.
It is just so good. Not only does it allow you to search for a supporter,
Right?
but it's a decent attacker
Oh, absolutely.
in
For-
any situation.
For an easy double colorless,
Yeah,
that's all it
right.
takes.
For an easy situation.
I love it.
It's just an amazing card.
It is.
That's why it's kind of mostly replaced Shaman, which used to be
The card to play,
the
right?
card. And it's just, that's how good Tapu
The
Lele
card is, yep. Oh, another good card, Teammates. Allows you, if your opponent took a knockout last turn, you can search your deck for 2 cards and add them to your hand. Any 2 cards.
Yeah, so Pram's going to take advantage of Azul taking the first knockout to play that Teammates and just kind of get whatever he wants out of the deck.
Absolutely.
And set himself up for any possible situation that he sees that is going to come up for him.
Maybe he'll grab that Drampa, maybe an energy that he needs to attach. Looks like he's eyeing up an Ultra Ball maybe in
Yeah, I
his
see he has a
hand.
double colorless in his hand as well.
Awesome.
The other chair around the shot, yeah, let's do that. Just gonna kind of sit with Kingdra over my shoulder.
I am interested to know kind of why they discarded the Trash Lanch Garbodors, because they do only play one copy of the other Garbodor, and there's also not too many abilities in this deck.
Right.
I mean, you have Mew, right?
We'll close
I
that.
believe that and
Tapu
Lele. Yeah.
But other than that, it's not a heavy ability-based deck.
Correct. Oh, now this is interesting. So with the Dimension Valley, the Mew can now use Berserk for
Right.
just the double colorless.
That's great synergy.
Wow. I didn't even see that coming.
And Garbodor can use Trash Lanch for free.
No.
No?
Unfortunately,
Is it basics only?
it's only for
Yes.
the colorless energy.
Not for psychic Pokemon.
Right. That would be really cool.
That would be really cool.
That would be
I was like-
insane.
for a second, I was like, that's amazing.
Yeah, that makes Garbodor really good.
Yeah. That would have been too much synergy.
Yeah, it would have been
It
like-
would have broken.
I would have
broken
left.
something there.
Yeah, I would have been like, I'm done. I'm not commentating this anymore. Maybe Mew's the way you win this matchup because both of them seem to be going just for the
Yeah,
Mew.
Mew's a crucial piece for sure.
Interesting.
Kind of just like exchanging small knockouts right now, attaching one energy per turn. Kind of like taking it slow. I think like what both players want to do is take out the other's like key
Like,
component.
yeah,
Like,
yeah. Absolutely.
We saw the Pram go for the knockout on the Mew because it had the energy attachment.
Correct.
They want to be ahead in resources.
Correct.
Over the other person.
They want to make sure that every attachment that they're making sticks.
Yes.
And as much as they can do that is going to be a winning play for them, basically.
Because every attachment is very crucial in a deck with no energy acceleration.
Right, and you're only playing 4 Psychic, 3 Rainbow, and 4 DCEs, and your Drampa's using 3 energy to attack. It gets kind of rough. Ooh, Rescue Stretcher's a good card. Putting back Trashalanche, Oricorio, and a Lele. All right. That card seems really fun. It's just so versatile.
It
you need a
is.
Lele right now? Grab a Lele.
Yes.
You need to shuffle cards back so you don't deck out? Shuffle cards back in.
It's a Super Odd plus a Buddy Buddy Rescue.
A Buddy Buddy, yeah. Where
with
your
no
opponent doesn't have to
drawback.
do it? Yeah, exactly.
All in one card.
They know what they're doing over there at Pokemon. They know. Now, what's interesting here is they both play this Tool Drop Trubbish, which does, I believe, 20 times the amount of tools attached to all of your Pokemon.
Yes.
That card could come into play here.
Gosh. I miss the Tool Drop deck.
Yeah? I actually
That was
saw...
a fun deck to play.
I walked around and looked at a couple decks. There are a couple that are actually being played. It's
Yeah, I'm
kind of
not
crazy. They're
surprised.
2-0, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not
it's
surprised.
crazy.
I think the deck is underrated. for
Yeah, I
sure, and
agree.
Expanded. If I was playing, that'd be one of my top
Yeah,
inspirations.
that'd
for
probably be
sure.
one of mine as well.
So good. Just massive amounts of damage from a tiny little Trubbish.
Yeah, from a 70 hit
and
point
with life
Trubbish.
too, they don't even take a prize.
Yeah, they never take a prize. Yeah, that's a good deck.
Definitely. But that's not what we're seeing here.
Yeah,
so-
well,
Well,
it
we
would
digress,
be
we
cool.
digress.
We do see Pramawat seems to be going for that Trashalanche. He put down that Choice Band. Maybe he's thinking for like a Guzma next turn or setting himself up
setting
for
up.
one.
Could be setting up for a Guzma.
I wish we had an indicator to see how many items were in each other's discard, but
Kind of an impossibility there.
right.
In a perfect world, though.
In a perfect
would
world,
know.
we would have
We would know
everything. Yeah,
everything.
exactly.
We'd be all knowing. We would know the prizes. We would
Yeah,
know
we would be,
discard.
well, then they would probably know that too, and then the game would be unfair. So,
No, like the Pokemon streams where they have the clear table.
oh yeah, we need those,
Oh,
yeah.
man.
We have to spend money for those though. We're balling on a budget.
All right. Next time.
Next time, yeah, absolutely.
Oh, you need to add the
Okay, so
input.
we have 2 Trubbishes facing off.
I love it. It's like tool drop on tool drop crime. I like it.
Do you
It's
think we'll
cool.
see anyone actually use Tool Drop this game? I mean, Pramawat has 2 tools on the board, and Dimension Valley is up.
Yeah, so he could do it
Tool
here.
Drop is potentially
Knocking out a tool drop, which he
Right,
does. Look
yeah.
at that.
So,
Yeah.
we saw the plays. We saw the play. We see the lines.
I love it.
So yes.
As long as we see the lines, that's what matters, right?
So we said you guys weren't getting to see Tool Drop today, but here we are. We saw it.
Made
all.
us liars. Goodness.
I love the variety of attacks being used in this deck.
Yeah, that's the cool thing.
So many options.
You can attack with what, like 6 different things in this
So
deck?
many different things.
You have Necrozma, Drampas, Lele's.
And that
Everything
kind of
attacks.
situational like attacks is kind of like the mark of a difficult deck that needs to be piloted by someone who's
A
really
skillful player, yeah,
exactly,
absolutely.
because they're going to get in so many different situations that each attack is not going to be good. It's not like Volcanion, who has one
attack. Yeah. You
You
volcanic
deal
heat
things,
every
yeah.
time, right?
You need
Or-
to be strategic about which
Right,
attack or
and
which
how
choice.
each attack goes with each situation, kind of
Exactly.
thing. Yeah, it's cool. I like it.
A lot of difficult choices to be made, though.
And that's why I like that these 2 players are playing this exact deck, because they are 2 phenomenal players. Like, they're known for how good they are.
Oh, come on. Come on. Who did this?
So they are both tied in prizes right now.
Absolutely.
Oh, does Azul have 4 or 3 there?
I'm not sure. It looks like
it
3,
looks to me like 3.
but it could be hidden 4. I'm not sure.
It's tough to see with the blue on the
Yeah,
blue.
with the blue on blue, yeah. Blue on blue Azul? What? No, I'm just
Oh,
kidding.
wow.
I'm sorry.
Wow. Next level.
Yeah,
Mind blown.
that's how I think. I'm sorry.
Wow. I didn't even make that connection.
I'm sorry. Just
So the
overthink
cool rest
everything.
here from Azul for so many cards.
10 cards.
10 cards.
That's like he
High
just
five.
used a GX. Yeah, like he just used Drampa GX. Big wheel. That's such a good card. That's what I love about this expanded format is you can play cards like that and get maximum value like that.
It has
I
the
love it.
nostalgia factor too.
Oh, it really does. I remember the first Nats I ever played at, that card was really good because everyone was playing Skyfield Ray.
Oh,
So you could draw like 16 cards off of it. It was pretty cool.
Right. So it's a dangerous hand size for Azul to be at.
If you're
Pramawat's
Pramawat, yeah.
Gotta be worried about that.
You absolutely have to find an N or...
Yes. You're gonna be in some trouble.
Yeah, absolutely.
It attaches to the Mew on the bench, possibly coming up this turn.
Oh, look at that. There are 4
knockout.
4 tools attached to... Or 5 tools, I'm sorry. That's 200 damage to that Trubbish.
Wow.
Wow.
I mean, any
Wow
way
is
you slice
correct.
it, that's a knockout. So.
Yeah. I love this.
Oh,
This
now
is so
I
much
see
fun.
Azul's now down to 3.
Okay,
It
yeah,
was
now
in
it's down to
his
3, yeah. This is so cool to see. Trubbish on Trubbish crime. I love it.
It's like all these tiny little psychic basics kind of
Just,
duking it out.
yeah. Doing 200 damage. Just, you know.
Casually
Casually just doing 200 damage.
Keyboard is not made for adult hands, so like say it. Keyboard is made for child hands.
So what can Pramawat do except for, try to return the trade?
I think that's what he'll have to do.
Yeah.
And that's why he brought up this Tapu Lele, not just because it has the float stone, but because he knows it's going to be a phenomenal attacker here.
Yeah. He's going to field blower 2 of these choice bands.
Look at this keyboard.
I think that's a good choice.
I also like it as well.
Yeah, I believe, because you want to keep that Dimension Valley in play,
This is not like a real.
and you want
The
to...
float stones aren't too, he's not going to be going for the game plan of Guzma stalling. So
Right, so
he doesn't
it's-
really care about those float stones.
It seems like right now where the board state is, if you're not taking a knockout a turn,
need
you're
to.
kind of losing.
Yeah, you're going to fall behind.
Yeah. And Pram's already in the driver's seat because he took the first prize. So it's kind of like you have to take a prize a turn, it
Yeah.
seems like.
That's the way a lot of these small basic decks work.
Right, absolutely.
They're just so vulnerable and easy to KO.
Yep, absolutely. And maybe they already knew the game plan going in. Maybe obviously they know more than us
Yep.
because they're playing the decks. But maybe that's why Azul went for discarding his Trashalanche Garbs.
He doesn't even need them because he can actually just take the knockouts with Trubbish for
Right,
the most part.
exactly. Interesting. I like the methodical play that both these players are using here.
So we saw them both bench Drampa, but neither one has
Used
really
Drampa,
been
yeah.
used.
I believe one Mew copied Berserk, but other than that, that card hasn't really been used. I also like how Pram used his Tapu Lele to attack instead of his Trashalanche Garbodor. He's kind of like saving it for
Yes.
later, for like an in-game strategy. I like it.
Yeah, Garbodor Trashalanche is a great sweeper.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's also more difficult for Azul to knock out this Lele.
Absolutely.
So that's why he kind of hopes that he has to take the 2-hit KO on it. Because, of course, again, we're not sure exactly the item count in the discard, so
Right.
we don't really know if Azul is capable of knocking out this Lele in one shot.
With the Trashalanche,
It's
right.
going to be difficult, though, because Pram did field blower away
That choice
the
band.
choice band
yeah.
on it to make, so that makes me think he can't get the knockout right now
Right.
as it is. And Lele, of course, doesn't have weakness,
Right.
even though it's a psychic type. So you have to do that full
You have to do
damage.
170
Right.
points of damage.
And that's kind of tough to get to. I mean, Trashalanche, the items do stack up,
Absolutely.
but it's still...
Absolutely.
And both players have been judicious about how many they discard so far.
Absolutely. I wonder if this Garbotoxin is going to come into play, actually matter. Because Azul does have it up now.
It's a little late in the game, and Pram's bench is full, and there's no Mew, so it doesn't seem to be affecting
Yeah,
things
I don't
right
think it's
now.
going to be. Maybe later when a Lele needs to go down or something, but I don't think other than that.
I'll plug it in. Thanks for plugging. Do you plug it into
Alright, so now we see Grandpa Drampa coming up here for the
Yep.
first time.
That Righteous Edge attack doing 20 damage and discarding a special energy is crucial. Like I was saying earlier, the deck plays 7 special energies. And if that's all they see, if that's all Pramawat sees, he could be in a lot of trouble here.
Yeah, he does have the float stone, so he can easily retreat this Lele, but
Absolutely.
losing the DC does hurt a bit. He now has to find some other way to attack.
Absolutely. It's kind of like a war of attrition. You have to figure out what's the best route to do it without losing too many resources, I guess. But this tool drop's going to do way too much damage.
Yeah.
And Azul's going to go ahead and just pack it up.
That's it for game 1 there.
Absolutely.
So Pram is going to take game 1.
Absolutely.
And yeah, that was a fairly fast game.
Yeah, I agree. We have about 30 minutes left, I believe, for game 2, which should be enough time for game 2 and game 3. I'm not sure. It's going to be rough for Azul. They both knew what they had to do. They both played to their outs. Pram was just, ahead in prizes.
Right. So do you think that it's more advantageous to go first or second in this particular matchup? Because generally the default option is to go first.
Right.
But it's possible to get a turn 1 knockout on a Mew or a Trubbish with Tool Drop. Or
right, absolutely.
With Mew. So that can put you ahead in that prize trade, like we were talking about.
Correct. I believe Azul went first that game, and I believe Pram took the first knockout, putting him ahead in the prize trade. So maybe it's better to go second, I guess. Maybe. I mean, we'll definitely see. We'll see if there's maybe Azul's like, yeah, I'll just go second. He chooses to go second. That'd be interesting.
Definitely. And because I know in the old Night March matchup,
oh yeah,
oftentimes you would choose to go second.
You always want to go second because you're like, I can attack first turn.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
So definitely, but that was a quick game, and it seemed very back and forth.
Oh yeah.
Both players, neither one really had anything
like
any
a huge advantage. Yeah. Or dead draws. That's very true. Yeah.
Either one.
They seem to have exactly what they needed, almost 9 times out of 10.
Dex looks smooth. Working like a
really well-oiled machine.
I was gonna say that.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was what I was thinking, actually. And then I was like, should I say that?
Yeah, absolutely. Azul's going for his first deck search. Probably going to take him a minute or so, how the first deck search usually goes.
Especially because he's down a game, so he
really needs to make sure that he has everything.
Be careful about this if he's going to win this game. But he did choose to go first, so.
So I guess that answers that.
Yeah. No, this Mimikyu is a little vulnerable here.
I like Mimikyu. Mimikyu seems kind of cool. It's basically Mew, but you're copying your opponent's attacks. So that's kind of cool.
So many tricks in this
deck.
Like
little intricacies that you can have.
A lot of copying going on.
Yeah, they don't even use their own attacks. No, I'm just kidding.
They don't need to.
That's funny.
They don't need to. And it's extra funny because normally they wouldn't be facing a mirror, so they would be copying other things.
Right.
Different attacks.
And also, I'm pretty sure this deck is supposed to Necrozma every game. But in this matchup, I think you just don't do it. You just can't do it. Yeah, it's just don't do it.
Not that many EXs and GXs.
It's like
you need to take out the energy and the attackers.
Yeah, that's what it seems like, right? I wonder if there's a lot of people playing this exact 60, or if it's just these two, because I know a lot of players like to share their lists sometimes, like when they think they have the good play to their friends.
Right.
So I wonder if there's more people playing this deck.
There's probably a couple more of these floating around.
I'm pretty sure there is, because it seems like whoever came up with the original list has the insight into the game. It seems like this deck seems really fun. A lot of intricacies to it. I like it.
And very powerful.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, there's a reason why. 2-0 early in the day, but these two players, if this will be their one loss, I think. Their one loss is going to be to either Michael Pramawat or Azul. It's.
It's unfortunate that they honestly had to deal with this
so early.
Yeah. So early in the day.
Puts them kind of on the back foot for the rest of the day.
But both of them will still have an excellent chance at making day 2. The 2-0 start from both of them is very strong.
Great, yeah, absolutely.
Putting them in a great spot. Even taking a loss here is not the end of the world.
Right, absolutely.
Certainly not the end of the day for them.
Right.
It'll
be a long one. Yeah, it'll be a long day. 9 rounds. I'm excited.
Me too.
Yeah, great. Absolutely. And we did see that bridge at turn 1. Seems like that's just the thing to do,
Yeah. Definitely the ideal turn 1, and it's happening again.
This is what, like,
Both
probably the
players.
6th game in a row that's happened?
Yeah.
And actually, almost identical again to the same start. Drampa, double Trubbish, and a Lele.
And a DCE.
Yep, and a
Both
DCE down.
players. Mimic you on Azul's side, but
See, I would like to see Azul maybe Guzma up the Drampa, but maybe that's a misplay. I don't know.
kind of hit into it.
Yeah, like Righteous Edge, knock
Righteous
off the
Edge,
DCE. Yeah. But no, we'll just see a
doesn't have
Sycamore,
it.
yeah. Unfortunate.
He possibly could have Ultra Ball for a Lele to do that play, but he probably didn't want to.
Yeah,
kind of
overextend,
yeah.
kind of,
leave
to make a
himself with nothing,
suboptimal
no
play.
follow-up.
Right, absolutely.
But I do think that would have been clutch.
Yeah, I think it would have been cool. Like, it definitely would have been a cool play. Let's see here. I just realized how many, like, tools this deck actually plays. 3 float stones, 4 choice bands. Like, that's a lot. Like,
Yes. We just saw Azul drop 3 of them.
right,
in one
in
turn.
a row, yeah. It's crazy.
But that's kind of maybe not that good for him because it leaves those tools open to
Tool drop.
being discarded. Well, tool drop and being discarded by
By
Pram's
field blowers?
blower
That's also true.
before he gets to use their effect.
Like, to actually use them, right,
Yeah.
absolutely, I agree.
You never really want to drop a bunch of tools without.
Like,
getting an
using
advantage
them,
on it,
right,
yeah.
absolutely.
He wants that plus 30 damage at some point, and he might not get to use it. But he does have 2 more choices.
Right, absolutely.
So,
We do see Pram discard a DCE to retreat and then goes straight for that big wheel GX.
so we gather his hand was less than satisfactory.
I'm going to say probably. 9 times out of 10, that hand was not good.
Yeah.
So
Should've
drawing
won some
10
more
cards
stuff.
off of this attack seems pretty good to me. Now, if Azul could find an N, that's probably his like main concern right now.
And a way to treat that Lele and knock off that DCE.
That DCE, yeah. That would be
That's-
really good.
I think that's what Azul definitely is looking for this turn. Can't see if he has an end in hand.
Can't
He's
tell.
Just going crazy
He just
with that hand.
shuffles his hand
Yeah.
ridiculously. But
No,
to each his own.
Every time I see Azul on stream, he's just like flipping his cards so fast.
Absolutely. Maybe that's the key to being a good player. Maybe you just got to be really fast with card shuffling.
Possibly. They do all seem to.
Yeah, they
have
all
that in
seem to
common.
do it, right?
Yeah.
I do see a VS Seeker. Maybe there might be an N in Azul's discard, but I'm not sure.
I honestly don't know. He's going to put down that Dimension Valley, but he's thinking about it because Dimension Valley, of course, also helps out his opponent.
Absolutely. But
But-
then again, that's also 3 dead
Yes.
cards in Pramawat's deck, because that's the only stadium these 2 decks play.
Exactly what I was going to say as well.
Absolutely.
So in a way, it's good to put down the first stadium, and
Right.
also has a negative side though.
Absolutely. And then there's the end, like I was saying. Absolutely.
Did have that. End.
I think it's kind of like a necessary thing. Like, you see your opponent big wheel, you kind of have to do it, you know?
Yep. Yeah, he doesn't want, especially this early in the game, all those cards
Oh,
would give
absolutely.
Pram such a good setup.
Absolutely.
That's kind of the downside of the big wheel GX and the algorithm GX from Metagross is
Mhm.
they're just begging for
Please
that.
end me. Yeah, basically is what it is.
Yeah. And they don't have an immediate effect.
Right.
But they also, if you get to keep those
Yeah,
hands,
if it sticks, yeah, your
then it's
hands.
huge.
Yeah, exactly. You basically set up everything that you need at
high
that
risk,
point.
high reward.
Basically is what it is, yeah. I wonder how afraid Azul is to retreat this Lele to Righteous Edge, knowing that Pram can do the exact same thing back if he gets an energy.
He already has one in the discard, and with this one discarded as
That's
well,
that's only 2
might
DCEs left in deck,
be
yeah.
difficult for him to return the favor.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. Oh, so he just goes for the energy drive. I like it.
Yeah, might as well not waste that DC since he didn't hit the floatstone. I'm sure he doesn't really, like we said, this game's going to be about managing resources.
Absolutely.
So he doesn't want that DCE to go to waste just to retreat that Lele, so he might as well get some damage off it.
Absolutely.
And this Drampa, of course, is not going to knock it out. So.
No, it's not. Huh. Oh, there was a Lysander play.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
I was so confused.
Looked away for
I
1
looked away
second.
for just a second.
Active change.
I was like, wait a minute. Oh, but interesting that they're playing a split between one Lysander and one Guzman this deck.
That is interesting.
I like that. And then there's the Righteous Edge, like I was saying. Interesting. I like this line of play.
Good play.
Yeah, but then again, it sets up Pramawat's also getting Righteous Edged back. So that's kind of like the game you play. It's like,
Yeah. At that point, Azul is 3-hit KOing this Drampa, though, and that's not particularly
yeah,
good
that
for
doesn't
Azul
seem
either.
good.
So I think that Pramawat's fine if Azul just Righteous Edges this.
I agree.
I think he wouldn't mind too much. But Azul wants to get the knockout.
Yeah.
Someone's got to start taking prizes.
There needs to be prizes taken soon. Yeah, I agree.
A little bit different the way this is playing out from the last game where they kind of like traded small basics and now
Back
we
and
have
forth, yeah.
now we have these heavy hitters going up, so that illustrates the versatility of the deck, like we were saying. Computer search.
Ooh, I think
Ace
this is
spec
the
of choice.
first ace spec we've seen of this match, I think.
Oh, I miss ace specs.
Yeah, I do too. I wish they would do them, just not as powerful. Give us something like that, like a one of that's
Yeah.
not a GX attack.
The boost in consistency from computer search is just so.
Yeah, it gets you whatever you need whenever you need it. It's nuts.
It's pretty much usually considered the best ace spec. Oh, we see Ace Rolla.
Oh,
from
I love the
Azul.
card.
That is such a clutch play.
I love it.
It's so good.
That card makes me
It's
so
so
happy.
good.
It makes me so happy.
Like, think about AZ.
Yeah,
It's
a
AZ
better
without the
yeah,
drawback.
it's a better AZ. Yeah, I
And
agree.
AZ was really good.
Yeah,
So-
everyone played it. At least one of.
Yep.
And then he attaches a psychic. Is that a psychic or a DC?
He's got a psychic and a DC.
Okay,
on
I
our
can't
lid.
tell if that top one was a psychic
Yep.
or not.
Yep.
Looks
So
like
that's
maybe
gonna
one of
be
the
a
older
knockout.
ones.
It's gonna take the knockout on Drampa.
I love it. This is a good
Go
play.
up by 2 prizes. Taking the lead right now
Yeah, absolutely.
in game 2.
We gotta make sure we're not playing too many items on both sides because Trash Lunch is still prominent, still
It's
a card.
always looming in the background.
Yep.
It's always threatening. So there's a lot of checking of items.
Yeah, always
How many
have
have I
to.
played? How many has he played?
Right, absolutely. It makes it scary to play like a VS Seeker. Like you're
Yeah.
like, oh, if I play this VS Seeker, it's gonna put me right at the
Right.
limit, you know. A VS Seeker for Sycamore here.
And Drampa's back on the bench after being rescue stretchered.
Also a really good play. I like that card a lot. Like, man, the versatility of this deck with versatile cards seems really cool.
Definitely a lot of different synergies happening.
Absolutely.
So he wants either an energy to attack with this Mew or a way to retreat.
Absolutely.
And I can't see his hand. I'm not sure if he's found either of those things, to be honest.
If he was to get an energy,
Oh, he
you
has
think
a
he would?
Floatstone.
He does have a floatstone, yeah. Do you think? Well, I think the Mew has a free retreat. I
Oh.
think. I'm not sure. Maybe not. I don't know.
You might be right.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
it does.
I think you're right. So he doesn't even need that Floatstone.
Doesn't even. Oh, that is so cool. So with the Mew, you can Righteous Edge for free
my
because of
gosh.
Dimension Valley. So he doesn't even need to put an energy down just to take an energy off of that Lele.
I like that move.
I do too.
So now if Azul wants to continue to hit with this Lele, he has to commit yet another energy.
Another energy, correct.
Because as of right now, it's not really threatening this Mew at all.
Correct.
So,
I see a Getsus,
yes.
a couple other, maybe an Ultra Ball in there.
There is an Ultra Ball for sure.
But the rest of his hand looked like it was items. And I don't know what his
Yeah.
item count's at.
Choice Band, VS Seeker.
Flash of cards that I didn't get to see.
Yeah, it happens.
There's a stretcher in
Two
there.
choice bands. Maybe at
Jeez,
least two
it looked
choice
like
bands in
three,
there. It might have
actually.
been three.
It looked like
I
three.
think it was 3. Oh, wow.
He does play 4, so yeah, it wouldn't surprise me.
Floatstone. It's either a Getsus or a Colress.
I think it's a Getsus.
So, I wonder if he'll go with that option. He's going to bench Drampa, though. Checking the discards again. Gotta see the items.
Just got to make sure, you know? Because you don't want to... I've had this situation where you go to Trash Lunch for a knockout, and they're like, no, sir, you're 20 short. And I'm just like, oh, no.
God, that's like a nightmare.
Yeah, it's like a nightmare that plays on repeat all over. Like, over and over and over.
Oh, man.
But see, they're
Never
good
want
players, and I'm not. So that's probably the
Don't be
difference here.
Rescue Stretcher for a Trash Lunch.
Oh, we do have a counter there now.
Okay,
there are
awesome.
4 items.
Well, I would have expected more at this stage in the
Yeah,
game, to be
honestly.
honest.
But again,
It's
these
5 right there.
yeah 5 because he discarded the VS Seeker. But I think like because
Very
these
helpful.
players are so good, they know how to play it without discarding their items. They know the lines to make.
I know, it looks like only 2 items in discard on Pram's side. So,
That doesn't feel good.
No, but it does take a knockout here.
Correct.
Because of weakness, so. And Azul's going to go up by 3 prize cards. So Pramawat is playing the comeback game now.
Absolutely. And I think Pram will at least take a knockout here on this Trash Avalanche, doing I think 100 damage to it. Oh, maybe not, or 200 damage to it actually.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly 200. I
seems good.
think that's enough.
Maybe. No, that's not enough.
Maybe he needs more.
Maybe 50 more would be good.
Yeah. I'd like to see a nice 300 damage to that.
Yeah, 300 damage would be phenomenal. Ooh, he's eyeing up a Lele. I wonder what his idea is.
He's going to need to take some EX knockouts to catch up. He's not
Absolutely.
going to win the game by just going for the single prizes.
I agree, 100%.
This Garbodor is not really a huge threat to him right now, with only 3 items in his discard. So possibly he wants to try to take a knockout on an EX this turn.
Looked like that Lele grabbed an N, but he's not playing it just yet.
N would be a strong play here as well. Azul would only draw 3.
While Pram's drawing
Pram's drawing
6.
six.
Yeah,
That's going to give him a good advantage.
I like it. I like the play a lot.
The ultimate comeback card.
Oh, it is. It is.
He's going to probably try to end many
Almost,
more times.
yeah, probably every
from
turn,
now on,
probably,
unless
yeah.
he's going to Guzma or Lysander.
Or Lysander, correct.
Still pretty much anyone's game at this point. I mean, Azul is ahead, but would never count out
Pramawat?
Pram,
Never.
for sure. Never count him out. And anything can happen in Pokemon.
Absolutely. Like we said last round, anything can happen.
So he's just going to go ahead and take this prize. Yeah, but like I said, 1 prize a turn is not going to cut it at some point.
He'll need to knock out
That Lele.
a Lele, a Drampa, anything really. That's not a basic or a non-EX.
So I didn't catch Azul's 3 cards there.
Neither did I, unfortunately.
It's 4 cards. Excuse me. Alright, well there we see
Check
one
out-
of Blend. Blend energy?
Psychic? It might just be a Psychic.
Oh.
Maybe it might be like one of those...
Oh, it's a rainbow.
Oh, it's Rainbow? Okay.
They
Never
actually
mind.
don't play Blend in this one.
Blend's a good card, too. I forgot about that card. Wow, I forgot about that card.
Oh, yeah.
Blend Energy's really good, too.
Yeah.
Ooh. Galissapod seems kind of cool with Blend Energies. You can play with Garbodor, because Grass and Psychic are on the same one.
And the reason it's on my mind is because I know there are some players, they played in the Sableye deck.
Oh, okay. Because it has Dark on it, too.
Yes.
Holy smokes.
Dark, Psychic,
Fire, I think?
Firegrass.
Firegrass, yep.
But Rainbow can be any type.
Right, which is also
Exactly.
really good.
Right. And it does add that damage, like we mentioned earlier, for Drampa.
For Drampa, yep.
So it's clearly the superior choice in this
Oh,
deck.
absolutely.
Thinking about retreating here. He wants to Trash Lance knockout. I think that's very reasonable, safe play.
Especially doing it with the Mimikyu,
Yeah.
copying Trashalanche. So that way he's not losing his Trashalanche of his own.
Exactly.
So that way he'll always have attackers on his bench.
Yeah, So you have to have the attacker there in order for
Right, correct.
Mew and Mimikyu to actually copy them.
Correct.
Or at least on the opponent's side. So
Jeez.
2 choice bands coming down, followed by an end. Like we said, ending every turn. That's
what
game
his
plan from now on.
Absolutely. What's crazy is the last 2 turns, Pramawat has attached 2 items or 2 tools and end.
Yep.
He went floatstone last time, and this time it's choice band.
He did, didn't he?
There's so many tools in this deck. I like it. I think it's cool.
And he played those down first because he doesn't want to draw them.
Right,
back
because
into
then
his
they're
hand.
just dead cards, right?
He wants to draw other stuff, like more ends.
More ends, more energies, maybe.
After this knockout, if Azul misses an energy, he might be in a little bit of a tough spot.
Absolutely. I think Azul can... No, I don't think there's enough items in the discard. I was thinking maybe Azul could Trash-a-Lanch a Lele for a knockout, but I don't think so.
Not yet. I think I see only 3.
3,
but
I think it's 3.
It's possible they haven't updated it in a while.
Right. There are 3 Tapu Leles on Pramawat's board, so that's scary
So
if you're
he
Pram.
basically can't play any items.
Yeah,
He's got to be
there's-
super scared of that.
Correct.
Because he really wants Azul to have to knock out 2 more Pokemon instead of just 1.
Correct, absolutely. You always want to play what they call the 7 prize game, which I
Both
guess
these
this deck is
players-
really good at, I
Yes,
guess. Yeah, this deck would be extremely good at doing that.
And they're both doing that already.
Right.
They're doing a very good job of following that plan.
Eyeing up a Lele here off an Ultra Ball.
And there's no Garbotoxin active, so nothing to stop Azul from
Right. And I think
getting that support.
in this game specifically, I feel like Pram would have been the one to set it up
Yes.
after already getting his 3 Leles out. So.
Right, a Garbotoxin along with these ends
Would be
Really
devastating,
would be
probably.
devastating. Would allow him to make the comeback a lot easier. And Azul gets a chorus.
I love it. Colors for 10. I'm really hoping they do like the double high 5, but
No,
I think they're more serious right now because
it's too intense for that.
too intense for the double high 5
Yeah.
fun.
We can high five if you want.
Yeah.
Sweet.
All right. Wonder what Azul's looking for. Maybe some more energies to put
Energy.
down.
I
Yeah.
gotta guess it's energy.
Because I'm pretty sure he's not attached to energy in like 2 turns. Like,
Yeah. He wants to finish this game, and he needs energy to do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
He needs it.
I feel like if Azul can take a knockout here on this Trash-a-Lanch Garbodor, I don't think Pramawat can do anything, honestly. He has a Mimikyu on his bench and a Drampa, but that's pretty much it.
Azul may have decided that the item game is kind of over for him at this point.
Right. Maybe that's what it is.
So he might be a little bit more likely to discard items to thin his deck, so when he gets end again,
He's drawing
He's
good
gonna
cards
draw good
instead of, right.
because there's a certain point at the game at which you kind of like throw Trash-a-Lanch to the wind.
Right, you're just like, alright, it's gonna knock me out no matter what now.
It's over.
Right.
The time for being conservative
Is,
past.
yeah, way past. Especially when you're getting up to like the 9 and 10. You're just like, at that point, may as well just throw away all the items, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think they've abandoned the counters too, but it's safe to say that
It's probably going to be
there's
knockouts
a
on
huge
majority
stack
of them.
cards in
Yeah.
Azul's discard. There's got to be a lot of items in there.
See, I believe now this puts Azul basically putting Pramawat on a 1-turn clock. It's like knock out everything on Azul's
Yeah.
bench or lose.
And he must end.
He has to end him down to 1 card. He has to. And Pram knows that. He knows that this game is looking pretty bad.
Yeah.
Like, he knows that. But the thing that's making me a little scared here is this might end in a tie with only 5 minutes left.
That's what seems like is going to happen if Pram does not win this game. I don't see them finishing a third game.
I feel like Pram is also playing to his time, which a lot
Very
like
true.
yeah, good players do.
Very good
So
point.
that's why he's ending every turn, doing as much as he can, searching and
It's going to
whatnot.
be very hard to prevent Azul from taking one prize
I
in
agree.
5 minutes. So that strategy may
You
not
know,
be the most
unless he plays extremely slow, you know? Like, he might get in trouble for it, but he could do it.
I'm sure he doesn't want to break any rules or anything.
Yeah, that's
but,
true. That's true.
But time is an important tool.
Right, absolutely.
So we just have to look at it that way. Like, time is a tool just like any other. And I'm sure he's going to do it. If there's a possibility for him to win the game, he's going to take that.
Oh, absolutely. Any way that you can win the game without winning a game, I guess.
All right, so he does take a prize on that.
See, what's interesting
Going
here
down to 3.
is Azul might not draw any energies. But he looks like
Well,
he got one.
He did. He finally found that energy after a couple turns of missing it.
Absolutely.
Being N-1 was the charm, and that's the last prize.
Oh, okay. I thought it was a trash
No.
lunch. It was a Mimikyu.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So unfortunately, I think
The
this
game
one's
is
going to go to
over.
tie. 4 minutes.
They
I mean,
could play
unless
a crazy fast game.
yeah, it could be
We
insane.
don't know. They're
They-
gonna try.
It's going to be like tool drop, tool drop, tool drop. You know?
They're gonna try to get this
Oh,
done.
absolutely,
Okay,
absolutely.
they're gonna shuffle really fast, and they're gonna set up very fast. Perhaps we won't see as much time with deck searches this game.
Yeah,
but-
maybe they'll just play as fast as possible this one. It's
Yeah,
going to be
definitely.
interesting to see. Both these players are playing phenomenally. They have their outs. They know their lines. I feel like they've tested this deck a lot, and they just know what they have to do in order to win. Like, that goes to the deck building and to the playing part of the game, I guess.
Right,
It's interesting.
for sure. And I like how they utilize different strategies, games 1 and 2, because they kind of adapted their plan based on what was going on during the game.
Absolutely. When game 1, they're taking little knockouts with each little basic that they had. Second game, the EXs were attacking, or the GXs were attacking. It was cool to see the difference between the two different game plans and the game styles. That means this deck can probably do anything.
Right.
Has like every infinite
And
ability.
I love that in Expanded, because Expanded is just so broad.
Absolutely.
You can run into any deck
Yep.
today.
And I guess that's why this deck would be really good to play.
Exactly.
Because you have, let me check this list one
Check the
time.
list.
You have an Oricorio, so that beats Night March.
Night March.
You have Mew, so you can, or Mimikyu, so you can copy Turtonators and knock out Turtonators.
Yep.
That seems kind of cool.
Yes.
Yeah,
kinda
that
cool.
seems really
A little
cool.
bit cool.
Oh yeah, that's pretty cool. Necrozma for like every EX and GX decks seems really good. Like,
Absolutely.
there's just so much versatility with this deck. It's crazy.
We're gonna head back into the game, I believe,
And
here.
it
With
looks
both
like-
players have set up.
A Trubbish. I like Trubbish.
We have only 2 minutes.
This is going to be a fun one. But Pram can do it because unless Azul misdraws or draws dead. But I see an Ultra Ball, so I don't think this game will.
I wonder if they're aware.
Oh, I'm sure they
how
are.
much time.
I'm sure they are. They're both great players. I'm sure they know
They
what
gotta have
time's
a
looking
clue.
like.
They
Yeah.
gotta have a hint. So that's a brief and kind of sad turn. No turn 1 Bridget there.
Yeah, no
for
bridging, no Lele's,
Pram.
nothing. That's
Just an attach pass. That's pretty brutal.
See, Azul has a pretty cool turn where he can Lele for Bridget and do all of that. But is that a play that he wants to make here? I'm wondering. I can't tell what's in his hand because, he shuffles his hand way too fast.
I know. It's very tough to tell.
I think at this point, there's no way. He just took a minute off the clock with just that
That's
one
what I'm
shuffle of the
saying.
hand.
Yeah. I mean, a tie's better than a loss, though.
Oh, absolutely.
So we were talking about before, like, one of them has to lose. This might be their
Right.
only loss of the day, but a tie's not a loss.
Really? A tie is definitely not a loss. It's still a point.
Yeah.
Interesting. This is going to be so super cool to see because you never want to see a player lose, right?
Right.
And I guess this is like the way to never see a player lose. You just draw every
Ties
round.
all day.
Every round.
Yeah, 30 seconds on the clock.
Man. I mean, they'll still have their +3 turns, so
Yes, very true.
there
6
could
prizes
be
and
there could be a
+3.
possibility, but Not very likely. Unless, like we said, Pramawat didn't bridge it.
Right.
So that could come to bite him later.
That's true. If he doesn't draw another basic, Azul could win that way.
Yeah, absolutely. Azul could draw like Floatstone, Choice Band, and then Tool Drop to knock out this Oricorio, I think is what is active.
Yep.
Yeah.
He has a couple turns in which he can do that.
Right, absolutely. Looks like I can't tell.
I cannot tell at all.
Like, on normal players I can see.
Double colorless in there.
Yeah, I do see a double colorless.
And apparently not exactly what he wanted, though.
And they just,
That's going to be a pass.
I'm pretty sure they just counted out their turns as well. Yeah, they're going for the tie.
They're done.
Yeah, absolutely.
No donk situation there.
Yeah, well, that's a good thing, I think.
Yeah, for sure. So, really interesting games.
There it is. There is the zero.
I know that lunch break